All right. Thank you, Sunshine, very much for starting us off here with that. And welcome, everybody, again to the new streaming format. Just like Sunshine said, I will be your color caster for this very first game. Scattercat, hello. Hello. Nice to see all of you here. And my play-by-play partner for this first series is going to be Death Adder.
Hello. Actually, I'm going by but yes, I am here. I will answer to both. And I'm excited and ready to get this thing started with the new format.
All right. Well, Life and Death Adder. In our first matchup here, the first series being casted, we have Cloud 10 versus PA, which would be crap.
Players Anonymous.
That's it. I forgot what the P stood for. I remembered the anonymous part. Thank you. Versus Players Anonymous here. Cloud 10 electing to take blue side for game one, or maybe I forget which one is the home team, but one of them elected for one of these sides. Yeah, so let's take a look here at what we got for the picks, the bands, the team comps. Let's talk about them. Let's dissect them a little bit here.
Definitely.
So what we got here for Cloud 10, let's look at the bands first of all. You know, their three bands on blue side were Kane, Diana, Galio, and then Players Anonymous, their first three bands being Ari, Bard, and Zoe. Now, one thing I want to point out here is that the mid laner for Players Anonymous is almost like a one-trick Diana, so clearly that was going to be targeted in this band, but in this band phase. But any other notable bands you see here from the players?
Yes, Players Anonymous looks like they definitely targeted Potato Ari. I mean, her name's Potato Ari. She does play Ari. She does play Zoe as well, and we do see that. I would believe that's Spanish teacher's highest support bard. So it looks like they definitely attacked the mid and the support. And we're looking to possibly secure a safe pick for their mid lane. It's the last pick. And then they end up targeting for the mid again, and with a Victor and the Kled top. So obviously, they're definitely aiming to maybe get the ADC onto something that where they wouldn't be being supported by something strong, like a less aggressive laner. Maybe give it opportunity for the jungle to gank, and they have a Zac, which is gank heavy. So, I mean,
yeah,
I guess I could find reason of why they would want to target those bands.
Yeah, and from the looks of things here, it looks like Cloud 10, I mean, from their first three picks here, the Zac, the Varus, the Nami, it looks like they want to have a pick comp. You can immediately tell, even before their last two picks come in, they want to go for a pick here, right? So
Right.
the Kled being banned in the second round by Players Anonymous makes sense. It's really easy for Kled to go from mid lane, you know, all the way down into the jungle, or all the way down to mid lane with his ult, or all the way down to the bot lane with his ultimate. It's really easy for him to move around and help get picks around the map. Very intelligent ban there. So we have a full pick comp by Cloud 10, you know, Orange, Syndra adding to the pick potential here. But then Players Anonymous, they are much more about just straight up team fighting. And they have Caitlyn and Lux being able to be just sitting in the back line. They have a very good front line with Tom, Kench, Gragas, Aatrox. Aatrox can even come in with flanks to help out. And then Tom Kench, just in case things get real dicey, he can protect the Caitlyn, you know, swallow her up and spit her out, you know, get her to safety. So two very different philosophies here with these two team comps. One team is very focused on getting picks and finding people when they're isolated, while Players Anonymous is all about just grouping together and winning these team fights as hard as they can.
All right, they look like they're more or less like they definitely drafted to play together in the fight, whereas like it looks like C10 is definitely attempting to like play the map more, try to manipulate the map around, find those picks, like you said, rotate and be active in that way. Which is another reason why I think Tom Kench is super good, because Tom Kench is very good at proactively countering picks. If like say, you know, Aatrox gets picked, he can ult and get himself some movement speed, have the sustain for Tom Kench to ult in with a Lux or ult in with a Gragas to continue the fight longer, or to save them, or to potentially turn a pick around into a skirmish for themselves.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a very good point. So yeah, we got two cool drafts coming out here. We're gonna see some players that we recognize, some players that are pretty new to the league. Uh, I believe that if we look at the lineups here, Players Anonymous having Dirty Band-Aids. He's an old hat in the league. Very good 80 carry down there playing Caitlyn for this first game. But I do recognize a bunch of these names over here on Cloud 10. They were a team in the league last season. They're well known, Spanish teacher coming in, Potato Ari, Unforgiven, Dragons AK-47. And I don't know if it's like Sivori or Kivori for
I feel
their
like it's
various.
Sivori, would that be like?
Okay. All right. Because that's my guess on how to pronounce it, but I might be wrong. Who knows? So, yeah, going to be real interesting to see because I don't recognize any player. Well, no, I do recognize Caged Reaper playing Lux on Players Anonymous, but other than him and Dirty Band-Aids, I don't recognize the other three players. So I'm going to be pretty interested to see how they fare against a veteran team in the league.
Yes, definitely. We got the old vets against kind of the new pulled together team here, so it'll be interesting. Like you saying, Players Anonymous. I was here last season, and I recognize I think Dirty Band-Aids. And after that, the entire team as well. I have no idea what to expect. So.
All right. Well, how about we swing into this game here and we get it going then while we take a very short transition break to get into the game here.
Sounds like a perfect plan. I'm sure all the viewers are loving nothing more than to get this action started.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience during that transitional break there. We are here onto the Rift, starting off this match here, hitting the play button here and moving forward. Both teams just about ready to head out of here, buying their starting items, moving down the Rift. Let's see if we have any invade shenanigans here at the beginning, or if we're just going to get the 5-point line of scrimmage. It does look like Players Anonymous is going to try for some cheeky invade stuff here. Going through the bot lane. This is actually an invade path that I really like. I've always liked this invade path. Doesn't always pan out, but when it does, it's wonderful. So Nami has enough of a notice that they're all coming in. And in all honesty, it makes sense that she would be able to get out of that pretty well. They don't have a lot of engage here in the beginning, other than Lux hitting someone with a binding on that invade. They weren't really gonna catch anybody there and stop them.
Do you have a timestamp?
Oh, I'm at 105 right now.
Minions have spawned.
110.
Okay.
All right. So, nothing was really gained there. Nothing was really lost there by either team. We do see over here in the red side jungle for the red team, there is not any ward that's catching this right now. So blue team should not know where the starting point is, other than the fact that Caitlyn and Tom Kench are in lane already, whereas Aatrox is not. That's the only clue they have to know where Gragas is, and they do ping it out there on the mini-map, so they are communicating that. Things going basically as expected so far. Nobody's being overly aggressive at level 1. We didn't see a cheeky jungle invade after the first camp on either side, or some weird pathing there.
Right. It's pretty conserved start to the game. Probably just feeling each other out. First game of the season.
Yeah, first game of the season, you don't want to screw up right away at the beginning of your first game. One interesting thing that I'm seeing here, at least, I know it's early goings, the game just started and all that. Ornn is pushing in a little bit. Don't know if that's by design or if it's just by Aatrox playing a little less aggressive than what you would expect. But then again, Aatrox does not really have, I guess he doesn't have that much power at level 1. But this is a top lane matchup I'm not that familiar with, not being a top lane player myself. And Gragas looks like he's heading into the jungle there on the bottom of the blue side of the map here. I thought he might be pathing around for just throwing a barrel at Syndra there, but nope, he's just going to take the chickens and move along after that. And meanwhile, Zach is taking the Rift Scuttle up there on the Baron side of the river.
Scatter, what's your timestamp one more time?
3:38, 3:39, 3:40.
244, 245. Yep. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I was on point here.
Yep, we're synced up. We're good.
Okay. Well, looks like there's a gank coming in here. Barrier is used by Lux there. And her flash. So no sums in the mid lane. Here's a gank here by Budwa. Flash getting burned by both bot laners there.
Real nice there, that counter gank.
Ooh, flash forward just for the brittle proc auto. It's a cheesy first blood for Ornn there.
Good first blood for Dragon's AK-47, and now it looks like Zach getting caught out, but he does have his jump to get out of there. So a little spicy in the beginning, for being all calm at level 1 when we thought we were getting an invade there. There was some explosive action, not even 5 minutes in. So
junglers
hopefully
started.
Yeah, hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Hopefully these junglers do want to keep playing aggressive. Hopefully we will see some blood.
Geez, the ability for Tom Kench to just walk up and just body Nami like that.
Yeah, it's you know, I don't necessarily have fun playing Tom Kench whenever I have played him, but he's so useful.
He actually, yeah, he has the amount of utility he brings to the game. He's just, I mean, that's why like the amount they nerf him and nerf him and nerf him, and you just still see him in pro play because he's just the amount of use he has is it's unexpendable no matter what his numbers are.
Never underestimate the power of utility. So, you know, Ornn is still pushing into the top tower here pretty hard, and he does need to get this lane reset. He does need to push it into the tower or have Aatrox push it back because he can't be this far forward in lane all the time. He's just asking for a gank doing it. Luckily, Aatrox is kind of pushing back. Oh, but Ornn wants to go in.
Ornn's looking to just end it now. Flash is burnt by Dr. Dad. So it's looking very susceptible. Like, this would be the perfect time for him to actually, like you said, just hit the wave, have it reset back, so it's pushing. So then Aatrox would be in a position to have a freeze on blue side with no flash, making him very susceptible to being ganked.
Yeah, I mean, if Ornn can freeze that lane in the middle there, Aatrox is just going to get starved.
That's right. No
Ornn
flash.
is too strong right now. You know, Aatrox can't deal with it at the moment.
Ornn doesn't even need his jungle. Gragas is by river there.
Yep. He is moving up there. Maybe they can make something happen. We'll see.
Predator is procced here. W is down. There's the E. Did cancel a bit of his dash. It's knocked up here. I think he still has his flash, no?
I mean, he's dead even if he flashes, though, because of how Gragas is positioning himself.
Yeah,
it's very smart there on his part.
Greg is pinching him, allowing him basically to have no escape.
Yeah, and that also a really good job on Aatrox there because he waited to use his Chains of Corruption until Ornn had already used his dash, making sure that Ornn couldn't use the dash to get out of the snare there, the pullback.
Not hitting the all-in, but it's just not enough damage. Yeah, also I feel like you gotta watch with Ornn because of Bellows Breath, allowing him to be able to ignore a lot of CC. You wanna wait for him to use his cheesy little getaways.
Yeah. I realize I called Aatrox's ability the Chains of Corruption. I don't know if that's actually his ability. It's just a name that like sounded it belonged to him, so I used it. I don't know.
It sounds pretty legit.
It sounds right. If I'm wrong, correct me in the Twitch chat, guys. Tell me what the actual name of the ability is.
Aatrox is the Infernal Chains. Someone's right on that.
Ah, Infernal
Thank
Chains.
You, TTU
Ah.
Phoenix. TTU Phoenix is actually here to coach the streamers and the casters. Oh, there's a Boxing Dragon here. Does land Infernal Chains. The cast is down. No mana, but it does not matter because the damage is too much from both of these big boys.
And just like that, Aatrox is back in the game. If we look at the gold difference, it's only 300 gold now up in the top lane. It was a worse situation for Aatrox, but getting those 2 kills, and now he even has a bounty on himself. Aatrox is in a real good position moving into the mid game from this point on.
That gank top and the presence top on its jungle will allow Unforgiven to pretty much take this baby for free, and missing and whiffing there by Cage. Is gonna have to bust out his barrier. And now it looks like Savori's caught out a little bit, unable to be saved by Unforgiven. Ooh, going in to get a chunk of kill here, but guess what? There's a flash belly flop by the old Gragas. Passive's going down, trying as she might. She is not able to, especially for Teacher not able to save Zach there.
Wow,
That was a lot happening right there. That was a...
that was a lot, and it was up in mid lane, it was down in Dragon Pit, it was all over the place there.
It was definitely a real spread. It was almost like it was a team fight for the dragon. The dragon was gone, and it turned into 2 skirmishes.
Yeah. And now another repeat engagement up in top lane. Ornn flashes already.
Popped ult, but it might be a little too late.
Ooh. Yeah, that's rough, man. I mean, Ornn is just getting repeatedly ganked up there right now. And now after just using Flash again, there's nothing stopping Gragas and Aatrox from just doing another gank up there. There's nothing stopping them from taking this Rift Herald right now, getting Shelly on their side when mid and top both have priority in the lanes right now. The only thing stopping them is if Zach somehow gets a word in there, sees that this is happening, jumps in and steals it with a smite.
Right. As of right now, the entire top side of the map goes to Players Anonymous. I mean, the gold leads about to go beyond 2K. If it keeps going as it is.
Yeah. The positive thing for Cloud 10 right now, Syndra does have a 500 gold lead, 400, 500-ish gold lead in mid. So that's helpful. Otherwise, you know, they gotta just hold on for late game here. They gotta wait until Ornn can start buffing some items to make them more even. You know, they do have a pick comp set up, so try to roam a little bit. Have Syndra go bot or top, help get a pick or two, you know, to catch you back up in gold. That's kind of what they should be aiming to do right here.
This poor Ornn is just getting bullied. He got ganked again, but turns around and just shoves right back out. We did see the Gragas cask there get used a moment ago top as well, so there's no ultimate on the Gragas for some time now.
Zach tries to do some work there on the blue buff, but he gets spotted out and he has to retreat, you know. Conservative play, you know. You try to risk. The risk wasn't going to pan out, so you leave. I respect it. I respect it. So top lane is still just Ornn just wants to push all day long, and again we don't know what the team comms were like here. We don't know if he was being told to push or if it was if it was a conscious choice up there to keep doing that. But you know, clearly being ganked over and over like he has been, I would be expecting him to play a little bit more safe at the moment, because you never know when Gragas is going to be up there again. He loves being up there.
Right. Yeah, it's very apparent he doesn't mind camping the top lane. Zach looking for a beautiful gank here. Nice ult by Nami. The tidal wave comes out, completely bursting down Caitlyn. But ooh, nice flash by Sivori though. Ooh, Tomcat's trying to trade the ADC back at least, but Sivori with a wonderful flash into the alcove there.
Real good fight down there on behalf of Cloud 10. And that's what I'm talking about, just getting these picks. Zach came down there, made it a 3v2.
A little bit of counter synergy there, but... Oh, actually, yeah, Zach coming to save the day. Unfortunately, Gragas actually knocked Syndra out of the Luxol.
Ooh.
Dr. Dad, what in the world?
The Infernal Chain saved Aatrox, but he dies later anyway.
And this Ornn is crazy.
Oh, man. So in a 1v1, Ornn wins that top lane, but as soon as Gragas prioritizes that top lane to help out, there's nothing one can do about it. And just like this little switch up of the priorities here happening, where Zach decides that he's going to help bot lane out. Gragas also is not top at the same time, so Ornn knows that he can get away with it. Ornn knows that he can go for it.
Quintal and Cage Reaper kind of bowling Unforgiven in his jungle. His team's finally shown up to get him back out of there. Poor fella, just trying to get his crows.
You know, and for being 5-2 just a few minutes ago in favor of Players Anonymous, we now have a game of 600 gold difference between the two teams, and it's in favor just ever so slightly here of Cloud 10. But Shelly's gonna get some plates on this charge. There's nothing they can do about that. The gold should be like just about dead even after both of these plates get taken.
I have to agree, they definitely were able to kind of hit the brakes on this early and swing the game back into a more reasonable, playable outlook for them to find a win now. I mean,
yeah.
Before, as they were going, and if that would have happened in the same trend for another, 10 minutes, it'd be looking just god-awful for Cloud 10, but now it looks like very much anything's contestable, anything's fightable. Looks like we're going in with a slingshot. Nami's tidal wave does come out. Caitlin's in the middle of all this, trying to get away, does get devoured, switch back out, flash comes out from Gragas, he's run away, but Chains of Corruption will grab him there. Verisalt, snake him down. There's a flash E there. Zach trying to peel off Spanish feature. Spanish feature just barely staying alive. They're trying to keep him away. Oh my goodness, the Q from Sivori just completely blows him up. I did not expect that much damage from the Varus Q.
It's a lot of damage, but then again, I mean,
Whoa.
he gets that extra magic damage on the Q when he presses W. I mean, man, that was rough, though.
That was the big Q.
That was real rough there. So one thing I do want to say is that just looking at these two team comps, if we're talking about late game, if this goes real late, like 35 minutes, the advantage is on Cloud 10 because they not only have a lot of really good scaling in the Varus here, but they also have Orin just beefing everybody up by upgrading their items for free.
Right.
You know, if you are on Players Anonymous, you want to start bullying them. You want to end this game as quickly as you possibly can because you have the advantage right now.
Right. Your Aatrox is pretty much on a time frame. Your top 10 and Zach are very similar in the fact that they're very HP and stat dependent on how liable they are, but they can both get easily counter built. I definitely agree with you. Time is not on the side of Players Anonymous here. It's looking like a beautiful gank. Finally, Unforgiven, giving the Ornn the counter attention he's so desperately needed all game.
And they might be able to take top tower off of that. They might be able to get first tower here if they push this in real hard. Ornn and Zach both realize this, and Zach stays to help out.
Slingshots in to instantly start getting those demolished procs. Boom, just like that.
Perfect.
Top lane.
Things are going very well for the side of Cloud 10 right now. Not only do they get first tower, they also have the first 2 dragons of the game. They're up 3,000 gold now. Everything is going their way.
That's a greatest cast. They attempted over the crow's wall, missed it a little bit there. Kato already is just going to get stalked and tossed though, but Zach's here to Unforgiven to pick it up.
Yep. There's the pickup kill, just helping out there a little bit.
I do believe
doesn't stay to fight Lux, but
Zorian's Spanish teacher, I'm pretty sure could just engage if they're altered up. And just kill Caitlyn probably and wait out the Devour. I really do believe that.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud 10 is the former Shurima champions, so these guys do know how to play together. They do know how to win these games. They know how to play to their own style.
There it is. There's the Varus engagement Savori. Trying to just chunk down Tom Kencher. Flashing forward, there is a Lux out there. Final Spark does come out. Caitlyn does get the Q off. It's a huge
Dirty
rotation.
Band-Aids showing some style there, taking out that Varus. That was real nice to see.
Gragas might have made a wrong move, or Bundle was trying to like rotate around the wall, disrespecting the Syndra's damage like that.
Yeah, I just don't think he expected Syndra to be able to kill him. I think that's all it was.
I mean, he's being very optimistic for a 4 level or a 3 level difference. There's level 8 to level 12 actually, right?
Yes, that was I believe it was a level 8.
That Varus got some, or
or no, level 9. He's got it. He's level 9.
That Gragas still got some huevos walking in on a Syndra like that.
Yeah, I guess he just expected, hey, if she's gonna try to hit me, I got my dash. I can move through. It's fine.
Right. A little bit misjudgment of damage, but either way, not the end of the world. It's like PK here trying to look for a pick on Syndra and just get Unforgiven's just there to toss.
I mean, Cloud 10 just calling for this pick there. Very nice choice. Gets them even more ahead. They're now sitting at a 3,000 gold lead here. Everything's looking up for them. Ornn just keeps pushing this top lane. I mean, Gragas, you have a really good opportunity here for a gank to help Aatrox out.
Okay, Reaper in trouble here. Barrier is popped. Shade Disruptive will be used to just kill her. You don't really see that very often. Varus ult you being used to actually kill.
Yeah. And Zach, you know, I didn't see what happened there in that fight. I was watching.
He slingshot flash smited the Aatrox to kill him.
But I don't know what happened to get Ornn so far ahead up there in that matchup, because Aatrox was running away with almost no health. And he wasn't just running away from Ornn, but he was running away towards the blue side of the map. So I have no idea how that fight actually went down, or it was that bad of a situation for him.
I know Zach is in the right place. The Cloud
Yeah.
10's vision's in the right place for this dragon. They have
Doing a great job of setting up for the next dragon, but Players Anonymous also recognizes they need to get over there, take care of some vision issues there. And Ornn takes another tower for free almost up in the top lane. Nobody was there to stop him from doing it.
Engage here, there's the Syndra all coming out at the root. And Zach using left bounce on Cage Reaper here. Flash comes out from Cage Reaper, but just gets smited down by the Zach. Greg is looking to run now, all brittle and sad. Gotta get away, bud. Well, now this is just a free dragon. I mean, Ornn just showed up and it was over.
It's a rough situation right now for Players Anonymous. I mean, they do have a really good team comp for just going in for team fights there, but being as far ahead as they are right now, Cloud 10 was able to get a pick to start the fight off, and they were able to immediately just push their advantage there and just keep going for more kills. And it just seemed like from the very beginning of that fight, as soon as it broke out, it just seemed like Players Anonymous was just on the back foot.
Yeah, they're already retreating towards their jungle. Whoa, Potato Ari, maybe she's fighting off a little more than she can do here. Nami showing up the same thing. Beautiful cat of the week. What a beautiful self-peel by Potato Ari there in Spanish feature with a clutch Q.
And that's the one thing about Syndra that's, I think, so... Like, a lot of people think about Syndra in terms of the stuns that she can throw out there with her QE combo, scattering the weak, her ultimate just having a lot of damage on it. But I think the best thing about Syndra is the fact that she can self-peel. All it takes is scatter the weak to do it. It's just one button press, and she can just peel for herself.
It's 2 CCs. Like, not only does it like just displace if you don't have time to throw a ball down, you could just get a Wukong that blinked towards you and just instantly scatter the weak and push them away. Or if you have time to put a ball down, not only does it displace them, but yes, it also stuns. And we like both. As an immobile mage, like that's huge.
Yeah, and it looks like Ornn is just going to be able to take these guys 1v2 for how much damage he's pumping out.
Going full alpha mode, just completely just don't care about any of the CC and damage. Actually, still alive. Still unforgiving landed.
And Ornn just holds them there for so long. In a 1v3 situation, he survives. It seems like he was there for a whole minute, just surviving in a 1v3. I know it wasn't actually that long, but it seemed forever. And it lets the rest of his team go up there to get 3 kills and start dealing damage on this inhibitor tower.
Ornn really being the big Chad that he needs to be for his team. Just drawing that aggro to the top side, just allowing Syndra to just split this up too is huge.
Absolutely, and he upgraded, you know, his Sunfire Cape and his Infernal Mask, so he has so much armor and magic resistance and health, and that's why he's able to live so long during these fights, because Players Anonymous is so far behind in their damage items that all that armor and all that magic resist makes him nearly unkillable, especially in a 1v1 or a 1v2 situation. If Gragas hadn't shown up there, I don't think Ornn would have died at all.
No, I think he was totally fine in the 1v2. I also think that this Ornn just constantly shoving the top lane, just giving this macro pressure in the top lane. If you look at the map, how it is right now, it's obviously Cloud 10's control, and like we talked about in the pick and draft phase, how they're playing a pick comp, and their comp isn't necessarily horrible at a team fight, but it's very good at swinging when the map's controlled. You have Zach that's able to swing around. You have Nami who's able to boost everybody's speed up. You don't want to get caught by a Syndra that's ahead. So it really comes down to the fact that Cloud 10 has met the win condition from their comp of not only A, getting picks that they need, but B, controlling the map the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so afraid. If Ornn's next item is a Gargoyle Stone Plate, I am so afraid of him in any team fight.
He's pretty much a tank assassin that doesn't die. Goes in at you, kills your ADC, the entire team tries to kill him like he's a raid boss because he procs Gargoyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Oh!
Right here.
That was a beautiful ultimate on the Gragas by Varus, but you know, I thought Zach would follow that up and keep him held there so that they could kill him, but no, they decided to back off. they decide to let him go, and they're going to go after Baron while Ornn takes this top tower for free.
Ornn's just going to go straight for this Caitlyn probably if you can, but looks like he missed there. Oh, look at the moves on this man.
He has to flash away, but he's still surviving all this attention.
Out here just breaking ankles. Oh, he's going to get the redemption fight? Oh, he does. Oh my god. Wait.
Oh my god.
He died there. Like, yeah, he didn't get away, but damn was it nice.
It takes everyone to take just Ornn down. His survivability in this game is just, it's through the roof. And he builds a Warmogs for his next item, which, okay, fine, I'll take the Warmogs here. I mean, you've already clearly got enough armor and magic resistance to just give yourself all that extra health instead. I'll take it. And the item that he upgrades for Varus is a Yumu's Ghost Blade. Now, I don't know every item that Ornn can upgrade. I forget which ones he has access to and which ones he doesn't. And as I'm speaking, a fight is breaking out here in the Dragon Pit.
Dragon fight. He's coming in. Ornn, the big man himself here, instantly calls the Ram God out. Shoving them all back here. Budwell trying to stay near the dragon. He's isolated, back slamming them together. The final spark does come out, but it's not nearly enough damage anymore. Budwell somehow still alive through all this. He gets turned on it. It's isolated behind the team. Dirty Band-Aid sitting there, autoing away. Has to net flash back to the tri-bush. Oh, Spanish teacher says, no way, Jose. I am coming for you. And the slingshot, and there's no escape for her. They're still running people down right now. Beautiful Bell's Breath, but just not quite in time to stop the snare. He's slowed. Lux is running for her beautiful little life. That nice little skirt. And he is still trying to get her.
Trying so hard, man.
Oh my god. In the meanwhile, Cloud10 just secured the free Infernal now.
And the kill that Players Anonymous does get on Cloud10 was an important kill. They took Varus out. And they took Varus out relatively early on in that fight. I mean, that was a pretty extended fight with how they chased the Caitlyn and the Lux, but Lux getting a really good ultimate off, hits 3 members of Cloud10 and kills Varus in the process, so good job there. But it's still not enough to stop them from taking that dragon, getting Dragon Soul, and now being in a spot where they are 11,000 gold ahead and almost unstoppable.
They have Baron buff. I mean, they're completely set up right now to basically wait for the soul or just end the game on that.
I mean, you're strong enough at this point, you may as well just group 5-man in mid, even though your team comp is better suited for picking people, because you're so far ahead. You have Dragon Soul, you have Baron. Just group mid, push as hard as you can, and try to end this game. And I feel like that's what they should be doing. It looks like that's what they're trying to do, and I can't imagine that this game lasts too much longer.
Beautiful slingshot, beautiful Ornn all this, and Amiel to follow everything up after at the end there. Sivori just choosing to engage on the Gragas, and they're walking to try to defend the tower. They're getting a little too far up, and Cloud10 just biting on this position. Another slingshot. Cage Reaper going to have to try to do some fancy moves here, but Sivori with the Q just already aimed right down the sight. Varus trying to make a rundown onto Aatrox now. Taking both inhibs here. You see that Syndra is in the bot lane now. Teoari taking the bot lane turret down.
Yeah, and this I feel is just kind of a little bit of a waste of time on the part of Cloud10. 3 members are dead right now, 2 are respawning soon, but you're still 5v4 with Lux down for another 20 seconds. Everybody should have just been in mid lane pushing that and doing damage on these Nexus towers.
Right, I feel like they probably could have at least got one Nexus tower as opposed to 2, but...
Yeah, in the event that they come out of base to defend, well, cool, you just back up a little bit with the minion wave there at the inhibitor tower, you just kill the inhibitor tower on your way out.
Right. I agree, I would have like swung bot and just put my resources mid to, or our team would have, I would hope, would be like...
It just feels like they had enough resources, that they had enough strength there where they could have ended the game just now.
To be fair, instead, having all 3 of those does give them huge insurance for this the the dragon, the big dragon. I can't think of the name of the boy, but you know what I'm talking
Elder
about.
Dragon?
The Elder Dragon. The Elder Dragon. Yes.
There
Now
it is.
they'll have supers in all three ways, which allow them access to having probably map priority for the Elder Dragon. Not that they need it, but if they had it. Yeah, Spanish teacher just pressing the outplay button now at this point on poor Dragon.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Aatrox is flanked though here on the backside. And good positioning, but not the level of damage your items to do it. Trying to stay alive. Gets devoured, spits back into the fountain. Oh my goodness.
They're just there to pad the stats now at the end of the game there at the Nexus and the fountain there. And that's all she wrote for game 1. A very convincing win for the side of Cloud10. Again, it was closer in the beginning of that game. They were dead even at around the 10-minute mark, a little bit after that. But, you know, once Cloud10 got one advantage, they were just able to keep pushing their advantage. They were able to keep getting what they wanted. And, you know, even if the game would have been more even at the end, Ornn had the Rabadon's Deathcap for Syndra fully upgraded, the Yumu's Ghostblade upgraded for Varus, and the Redemption upgraded for Nami. So even if it would have been a little bit more even in gold there at the end of the game, it was still very much in the hands of Cloud10 to grab the victory there.
Definitely. No, I agree completely. A little bit of a shaky early game for Cloud10, but they definitely, you know, tightened their bootstraps and got everything back in order and, well, took the game and pretty much ran with it after that.
Yeah, very impressive showing there by Cloud10. However, we do have a second game coming up next after a short break, and I'm going to be very much looking forward to see if Players Anonymous can take that back, if they can run it back after a loss, and if they can make this as a 1-in-1 series to start the season. I love when the first games of the season go 1-in-1 for teams in a matchup, so I'm really hoping we see that here. But we will have to find out after the break, so we'll see you soon. short break. But we are back, and we are going to be heading into game number 2 here in the series. So let's take a look at the draft, the picks, the bands. Let's discuss, and let's get ready for the second game of the series. So in the first game of the series there, we saw that Cloud 10 was able to use all of their champions to very great effect. They had a pick comp, and they were able to get some picks early in the game, but they were so far ahead that the pick comp just ended up also working out really well as a team fight comp as well. So we see some bans coming out here in the second game. Players Anonymous takes Zach out of the picture right away. Did not like at all what he was doing there in that game. We have a weird bug here in the pro draft for their third ban, so I'm not exactly sure what was banned out there. However, we do see that we have some similarities to the first draft. They still ban Zoe, they still ban the Victor, and they also take Ari away, which is a little. It's not quite in the same spot that it was in the first draft. They banned Ari in the first 3 bans last game. They banned her in the second 2 bans the second game. So prioritization a little different, but still mostly the same bands. On Cloud 10 side, it's a lot of the same bands we saw the first time. In fact, it's the exact same bands, other than they banned Caitlyn instead of Ziggs. And otherwise, it's the exact same bands on their end. So Life Adder, Death Adder, whichever one you're going by these days. Tell me about these 2 drafts that the teams did, the champs that they picked.
Yeah.
What stands out to you here?
Well, I see that PA taking the Ornn instead of just like banning it if they didn't like it. Looks like they might have aggressively first picked it to take it away from C10. Other than that, I see like the Bard getting out for C10. So Spanish teacher's Bard's gonna be fun. They let that through, and C10 allowing Ziggs to get through. They also are able to get Ziggs for Players Anonymous. So generally, I'd say having Morgana, having Ezreal, they have a super safe lane, and then you got Lucian and Bard, a super aggressive lane. So it all really depends on if Players Anonymous plays to their strengths, because that would be in the window of Players Anonymous for the bot lane to be looking at. They would have to get caught out by like Bard or Lucian for an all-in. But if they avoid that the entire lane phase and just wait for ganks and manipulate wave correctly, they generally Ezreal will outscale Lucian. So.
Yeah, it's I really like what I see here. I really like the adjustments that I'm looking at. So if we take a look at Players Anonymous, first of all, they take Ornn away from Cloud 10. First of all, first pick of the draft. Nope, we're not letting you get that tool. But after that, they also have they pick Morgana as a way of protecting whatever AD carry they do end up going with. They decide against the Tahm Kench. The Tahm Kench was available, but they decide to go with another champ that specializes in peeling for their AD carry and supporting the rest of the team that way. And then for the jungle pick, instead of Gragas, they go with the Rek'Sai. It's another champ that can get really good engages. So like I see where they're going here, but then they pick Ezreal and they pick Ziggs to help round it out and have a backline to go with it. So it's a lot of the same ideas from their first team comp in game 1, but refining it a little bit, if that makes sense. And then from a little bit more range
too, having the Ezreal, the Ziggs, and the Rek'Sai and Ornn ult.
Yeah,
it gives them a lot of reach in a fight. If let's say they get into a fight, start winning, and C10 tries disengaging, it would be really hard to get away from all that range.
Mm-hmm. And then we have C10 over here with their team comp, and it's a lot of just going in for a team fight, right? Like we have the Jarvan going in with his ultimate, the QE combo. We got Bard ulting people, maybe in Player Anonymous's backline to prevent them from helping out in a team fight, so they can whittle the front line down and go after the back line later, or maybe ulting the front line when they try to engage so that they can go after people in the back line. We got Kled that's just going to roll it down and be a meme machine the whole game. But then we have Akali and Lucian, which I think are two really interesting picks to go along with what they already have, especially the Akali, because she's been nerfed into the ground by Riot at this point. You know, pro players don't even like take her that often anymore. So really interesting pick here. I would not have expected the Akali to come through in this game at all, like either game 1 or game 2. Just wouldn't have thought that any team would pick it. So I'm super curious to see how Akali plays out for them in this matchup. But speaking of the matchup, we can get this game started here. We can load up into the game number 2 here, and we can find out which one of these teams is going to come out on top. Will it be a 2-0 victory for Cloud10 in the opening game of the season, or will Players Anonymous be able to scrape their way back to make it a 1-1 series? We will find out after a short transition break to get into the game.
Yeah, let's hear your guys' votes in Twitch chat. Like, who you think's gonna take this? Players Anonymous for Cloud10?
All right, we hit play, we go. We start the stream again with game number 2 between Players Anonymous and Cloud10.
And I'll tell you, what a perfect time to be in between games, Scattercat. I just devoured 2 sloppy joes.
Ooh,
In that
I'm
time.
a little jealous.
Yeah, my stomach is full. I have some Gatorade in my tummy as well. I am ready to cast at full power.
We're at full operating efficiency now with some food in our bellies. So unlike game number 1, we don't see any invade attempts. We don't see any setup for that at all. It's just line of scrimmage. Although Cloud10 is sending Bard back over into the jungle, and kind of don't know why, but
like hunting chimes or something, maybe level 1.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. I wasn't looking at him. I was just seeing the mini map there. You might be right about that.
That's the big brain move for Bard. If you can get 3 or 4 chimes before you get the lane, you get that level 2 prio no matter what.
Big brain plays over here. So yeah, it looks like a pretty calm start. You know, one thing I do want to say though, like I did kind of talk about Akali being useless and like, she's been nerfed so many times. But if she gets off to a good rolling start, she is going to be strong. So it's up to Cloud10 to get her off to a good start, get her rolling, where she can just keep steamrolling the game in her favor.
I definitely agree. I think that Jarvan should gank mid the minute he can, at least burn thumbs, and Akali should immediately try to get vision control around the area and wait for Jarvan just re-gank that. Biggs is generally pretty bad at escaping a gank if he's not on his side of the lane. Be a level 2 gank by Rek'Sai right now. What will this look? Q comes out by Quintal misses though. Flash W knockups anyways. Instantly going on Spanish teacher. Flash ignite burns from Quintal. No flash ignite, but no flash from Bard back. Does land the Q now. Quintal looking to try to get Spanish teacher. Ezreal flashes forward. Heal does get burned. Keep Quintal alive.
Good heads up play there by Players Anonymous, starting things off strong here in the opening minutes of the game.
Definitely trying to get that early lead. Dragon Slayer or Dragon AK-47 did take a power shot there. It's an invade now on Unforgiven by Bloodwolf. Flashed into the wall there. Poor Unforgiven, having to have that broadcast to the rest of the Steel community. The remount from the Dragon AK-47.
Yeah, it just feels bad, man. That flash over the wall not working.
One little minuscule too far away from the wall there. You just don't get across it, and then it just looks like a big face palm.
And they are doing with Rek'Sai here exactly what you should be doing with Rek'Sai. Gank early, gank often, constantly pressure the lanes of the other team. I love what I'm seeing here out of Players Anonymous, the blue side here. I love that they lost for the first game pretty convincingly, you know, we could say. Over a 10,000 gold difference at the end of the game. Cloud10 was able to snowball the whole thing. And they're coming back with a vengeance here in game number 2. You know, it really feels like that first game didn't really affect them mentally, other than just giving them more drive and ambition to beat this team. Ooh, Ornn gets the dismount here for Kled. Just a little bit of a pokey poke fight up there in top. Everything's okay. Ooh, is Rek'Sai going to be able to finish Kled off? Kled gets the remount. Kled flashes. It seems safe. Adder, you doing okay over there, buddy?
Yes, I'm doing fine.
Okay, all right.
My headset was muted.
Oh, okay, there we go. That's what was going on.
I bumped my mute, and I need to move my my headset pad away from my thigh, or else that may happen again.
Well, you know what? It wouldn't be a casual esports amateur league stream without something going a little wrong somewhere on the tech side.
Yep. My gosh darn headset. This time it's on me. Got me this time. Put it down as a demerit tribunal. You guys got me. Wait, Scatter, you're tribunal, aren't you?
I am tribunal. I will mark it down in our record books. One demerit.
One demerit for Adder. Well, this dragon is definitely in control for Cloud10 here. Definitely finding a pocket of time to sneak the dragon away.
Yeah, and they were completely in control of the dragon last game. So, you know, them doing it again this game doesn't surprise me. It's always on their list of priorities.
Objective control is crucial.
But just Players Anonymous, though, with the really early aggression, the really early 3 kills here. You know, we're not even 7 minutes into the game. It's 3-0. There's a almost 2,000 gold lead.
But that's full conquer proc. Dr. Dad just trying to kite back to his wave. Not a favorable trade for Ornn. Does have level 6 priority though here.
And I will say that, you know, I like Dr. Dad playing Ornn, just being just like, hey, you think you can play Ornn? I can do it too, buddy. Let me show you.
Nice dark binding by Morgana. Doesn't get much of it, but good aim.
CS, that poke in the mid lane on Akali. Ziggs being up. You know, the CS is 51-32 in the mid lane, and Akali is getting a little bit bullied in that department. Kind of nice to see that. And the same thing is happening in the bot lane, too. Ezreal is ahead of Lucian in the CS department as well, 54-38. You know, Dirty Band-Aid showing that he plays a really good Lucian here. Or, sorry, a really good Ezreal.
Not to say that Savori's Lucian isn't anything either.
No.
Yeah, I have Lucian written down. That is one of his more played ADCs. But as of right now, I feel like Ezreal just plays better into Lucian in my opinion anyways. You can consistently poke from a longer range more often.
Yeah, you can keep your distance just fine.
Right, he's got a dash, you got a blink, so I don't know. Jeez. Bud was just
Rek'Sai might get converged on here.
got a tunnel out of there.
I wonder, did he try to tunnel when Kled hit him with the ultimate? Or was he trying to do it afterwards? I don't know if he got interrupted.
I'm unaware. It looks like he was trying to. It appeared to. Looks like Ornn's able to trade back there. The ultimate snipe. Dr. Dad, though, just cannot take the red buff. Cannot take the Kled right now. Ooh, nice sidestep.
Oh, very good sidestep.
That was a sidestep of life or death right there. Potato Ari taking on the aggression here. Shroud's almost up. Has nowhere to really dash to, so he's see it knocked up and killed.
Bad luck just getting stepping on the one corner of that field of slow bombs there that Ziggs placed.
Give Rek'Sai just enough time to knock her up. Looks like J4 got a counter gank here. Maybe. Beautifully timed flagpole there.
Just a lot of really calculated aggression here coming out of players Anonymous. Just they have advantages in, they have advantages in mid lane, they have advantages in bot lane, top lane.
Oh my god. Budwolf is just bullying this guy so hard. Potato Ari trying to like get some vengeance for her jungler. Beautiful play. Zigzal comes out, doesn't hit very hard. Tempered Fate hitting both of them. A little late, but still a good aimed ult.
That was real nice effort there by Potato Ari on that Akali. Just getting that kill on the back end of that. Being hungry for it. Still down.
It's necessary for them. They need to stay in this game. That Akali has to answer back somehow at some point.
Yeah, and I mean the Ziggs still has that 500 gold lead in the mid lane, but Akali is trying to work her way back in there. She's trying to close the gap as much as possible with that pick.
Trying to utilize that superior kit, inferior numbers. Just like the Master Yi buff that just went through. His win rate went down a little bit, but not that much for the huge nerf they took to his ult.
Yeah.
It's just because it's a kit that like if you have the skill, it doesn't matter how much the numbers are down. You still have invulnerability with Alpha Strike. You still have slow resistance. You still have damage reduction by the percentage in your kit that's on top of the heal. So naturally, you're gonna like things like Akali and Yasuo. If you have the willpower, I guess is what I'm getting at. If you have the willpower, you can. It doesn't matter how like nerfed it is. It's still like sauce on them.
Yeah.
Beautiful dragon here, just containing this dragon, not necessarily fighting them, but like just warding them away. I like that. They just kept them zoned off of the dragon pit, allowing them to stay clear. Wow.
I mean, oh wow, big combo there to
kill. Biting into the Ziggs toss.
Ooh. No, I mean, Players Anonymous, they're sick of Cloud 10 getting all the dragons. They're like, hey, no, this one's ours.
Yeah. They boxed him right out of the river for that one. I also do like to know, it's not very relevant, but I do like to see the Bard skin. If you're gonna play Bard, play Bard.
I like it.
No exceptions. Or maybe it's no day Bard. Sometimes you gotta be hooking people up with those hot Cocoa Cups. There's Tempered Fate coming out, possibly a beautiful Tempered Fate, allowing the team to get there. Budwolf is isolated. And there's the trade back. We were thinking that Callie was gonna like actually die to Budwolf, but it turns out to be the other way around. Nice,
I thought for sure Ziggs was just gonna have a bomb bouncing at her for as soon as that wore off.
He said, "F this Crap, timeout.
All right, so are things leveling out to a more calm state on the map, or are we just like 30 seconds away from another fight here? It just feels like both teams have been pretty aggressive this game. Players Anonymous being more so, but they just keep wanting each other's blood, and neither team wants to relent.
Dr. Dad letting Sunfire just really do work. Staying right on top of Dragon, not really worried about the damage, the initial damage. Just sits there and tanks out just enough mana too to complete that fight in his favor. This is looking like first brick for Players Anonymous. I'm not sure which. Oh, they already got that, didn't they, in the mid lane?
Yeah, already got it.
Oh, geez.
But now they're going for Shelly too. I mean, they just are not slowing down. There are no brakes on this car.
Savori taking the aggression here. Morgana trying to answer back.
Oh.
All this not in the right spot either, but Ignite from Spanish teacher and the autos coming out. Both flash.
Oh.
That's a 2-for-1 in the bot lane.
This is a good attempt.
Cloud 10 needed it. They needed that bad. It wasn't much to gain, but that's huge for Cloud 10 to just slow this momentum down. Like you said, they're just not letting up.
And anytime you're behind and you do a trade 1-for-1 in kills, it's good for you.
Right, so a 2-for-1 is massive in comparison.
Yeah. So a 2-for-1 even better, but like if you think you can get that one-in-one trade, you go for it if you're behind.
Dr. Dad trying to just, I think, bait here.
Should be a dead Kled any second here.
Whole squads, their ult's coming out for it. I don't think that was very necessary, but I guess sometimes it's about sending a message, Scatter.
My favorite part about that was Morgana showing up and then Morgana going, no, if I throw something down, I might steal this. I'm just going to keep walking.
She's just there to watch. Like one of them weird kinky adult videos, sometimes there's just the one guy there that wants to watch. Clinto definitely filling that role.
Moving on. So here in the game, you know, there's a 5,000 gold lead in favor of Players Anonymous. It is the exact opposite story as last game at this point in terms of the gold difference between the two teams. They're also up 2 towers to 0, and the Dragons are split 1-1. Granted, I would say that Cloud10 has the better of the 2 Dragons with the Ocean Drake.
Savori caught out here by, it looks like, just the entire world. Spanish teacher just not in a position to really help him there, unfortunately.
I mean, Clintel here on Morgana is just moving all over the place this game. I mean, she was just top lane like a minute ago.
Utilizing those Mobies. Oh, there's a stun from Bard there. Unfortunately, they can't really move in on it.
Yeah, don't mind Rek'Sai, you know, just taking part of your jungle, no big deal.
This Rek'Sai's counter jungle has been most excellent.
Yeah,
Constantly harassing K4.
I am hard pressed to think of a more aggressive Rek'Sai in any game I've ever seen or played.
Dr. Dad trying to do exactly what Dragon AK-47 did last game with the Orange Fights and the Dragon Fist. Savori sitting here trying to fight off the entire team again, but unable to trade out. This Bard with the magical journey able to get away. The TP back top, gonna stop the split push from Dragon AK here.
And, you know, Players Anonymous does, they let that dragon go. Not that they backed out there and just let the other team take it. But rather than everybody on the team committing to just finishing Dragon as quickly as possible or turning around and fighting the other team, they split their focus between both options. Some of them are on Dragon, some of them are fighting the other team. And it lets Jarvan get in there and steal the Dragon away from them. you know, you would hope to see from any team in any division that if you have a choice of turning around and fighting the other team or finishing Dragon, that somebody on the team makes the call to do one or the other, and every single person commits to it.
Right.
Oh, we're kind of going for the steal.
Commit to a bad call. It's better than half the people committing to a good call.
Yes. So we have another small moment of calm here in this rather bloody game. I mean, we're 18 minutes in and there's been 22 kills so far. But we did fail to mention in all of our excitement there that Kled was able to get top tower. So the tower difference is now 3-1 rather than 0.
Right. Lucian's looking in a beautiful spot to take the tower too, but the Zed, or the, I'm sorry, the Ult and the Ornn ult together is pretty gross. You get a Morgana there on top of it, it's over. I mean, they're able to just dive here. Flash Q from Ezreal just to pick the kill up.
Dirty Band-Aid just goes in and, oh man. I love this aggression.
Still shifting forward. The shifting forward Ezreal is not good if you're playing against it. It means that he is probably very far ahead.
I mean, Dirty Band-Aid's clearly confident on this champion. The whole team, Players Anonymous, clearly confident with the whole team confident what they're doing. Gonna get this inhibitor. Lucian was bot lane this whole time, and now he's recalling, but it's too late, Lucian. I don't think you guys are gonna be able to really make up for this.
Silver stage, J4 does use Cataclysm to try to hold them in time. They're able to turn onto the Kled. Unforgiven is ignited, knocked up, trying to get away here. Lucian gets turned onto by the Ornn and Ezreal. Just Spanish teacher here now. Oh, Potato already coming from behind here, trying to pick something up. Everybody's got 2 HP here. Oh, there it is. There's the Morgana.
There we go.
Getting sauced and tossed. Unfortunately, Spanish teacher unable to really get an angle into this fight to necessarily help her. It's all coming out just to try to do some damage to him.
And this entire time, Ezreal's being safe in the back. He's positioning so well this entire time. Nobody can kill him.
Kind of sauced on Rek'Sai, and now it's kind of trying to sauce on Cage Reaper, but just walks in, so one of his bombs completely gets rid of him. Flash, dash, the Q, couple autos from Savori, and there goes Zig. Trying to chase down Dr. Dad, but he's a thick boy. He goes out to culling, doing about 200 damage to Dr. Dad.
Ezreal can keep poking at them if they want to keep trying to advance.
Here's the Horn here.
Are they going to take this 2v3?
Yeah, Unforgiven getting tossed and sauced down real low. Looks like Lucian is gone just from Dr. Dad alone. Position onto Kled, trying to get away, but he says,
oh my god!
Oh, and almost pick up from the offie too.
Okay, you guys gotta recall at some point. Come on.
In both of these games,
okay, alright.
Ornn just doesn't take damage.
I mean, Dirty Band-Aid's just putting on a clinic this game of how to play Ezreal properly. I mean, all the times he should have died during everything going on there in that base, and he was able to stay safe. The rest of the team was able to help him out, peel when needed, but he positioned himself so well during the initial parts of those team fights to stay in the back and stay safe while poking at them with his Q, his W, and throwing the ultimate out there. Just really well done. Kled throwing out his ultimate, but it's a little too late. It doesn't end up hitting anybody, and yeah, it looks like Players Anonymous will be able to just leave and get out scot-free there.
Okay, going right onto the Baron.
Well, yeah, of course, you killed the Jarvan. The Baron call should be the immediate thing you do here. You don't have to worry about the smite on the other team trying to steal it away from you.
I agree. Just gotta watch out that you have the Bard. Having Tempered Fate in this scenario would be huge, but I think Bard's ult's down anyways.
Yeah, hits the smite perfectly, gets it. I appreciate what Cloud10 tried to do there to steal that Baron away, but you know, Rek'Sai was able to do the smite to seal the deal. And now Cloud10 has a real challenge on their hands. you have to worry about Players Anonymous coming into your base. They are 11,000 gold ahead. Granted, you don't know that exact number, but you know they're really far ahead of you. And this might be the final push that ends the game. It's an open Nexus. Baron's up minions.
Comes down. Baron up minions are there. Callie's able to dash right through everybody. There's a gold by Quinto. They're using her Zhonya's there. It's like Rek'Sai was not able to take on both Kled and Spanish. Spanish was able to use a magical tree to get away. Tries to stun in time, but is not able to stun in time. Dirty Band-Aids just too dirty.
Dirty Band-Aids does them dirty.
Oh my goodness! What a
Wow.
game. What a showing of display of beautiful talent by Players Anonymous. They're showing that we may be some new faces in the league, but even Cloud10 is gonna have to respect us back.
That was an incredible comeback. I mean, you watch game one, and it's over 30 minutes long, and it almost felt like a Cloud9 game because it ended almost right at 30 minutes. It was just a little bit past that, where Cloud10 was in control of the game. They were getting everything they wanted, and it looked like, you know, everything was going their way. So game two comes around, and then Players Anonymous does the exact same thing back at them. And not only do they take that game in very commanding fashion, but that game was only 23 minutes long.
They not only did what Cloud10 did, but they did it in a more efficient manner.
I am so impressed here by both of these teams. You know, I cannot wait. You know, I hope that both of these teams face off against each other again in the playoffs at the end of the season, because I would love to see a rematch of this. I want to see what both of these teams are going to learn throughout the rest of the season. I want to see what they will bring into playoffs. If they both make it to playoffs, there's no guarantee both of them will. But I would love to see a rematch in the future.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good matchup of two teams from how they ended up playing out from the first game and into the second. It really gave a good character to each team, and each of them have, I guess, a chip on their shoulder now and something more to prove, both taking a loss and getting a win.
So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to that exciting first series. We've really started off this season with a bang. I'm really happy about it. But we are going to move things along here. We're going to take a short siesta, short break. And when we come back, we will get on to the next series of the night. That's all for me casting. I know that you're going to see Adder cast again. So I will say goodnight to all of you lovely people out there. But yeah, let's look forward to the next game, and we'll see you back here in just a little bit.
Thank you, Scattercat. You have a wonderful night. You are the GOAT.